Tribe, welcome back to Awakening the Kundalini Within You. So, we've just finished our first month, and remember your homework. You watched my video, the last video, which was all about where we were going to meet in our first class, and then that all went to hell when the coronavirus hit, right? And we ended up getting together on Facebook. So if you didn't come to that Facebook live event, well, I hope you at least watched the video. And if you remember from your homework, you were supposed to do a Kundalini practice, and you were supposed to post that on our website, and maybe I even gave you extra credit if you did it in a time-lapse video. So as of yet, we're a week away from class, and you know who you are. You have not done or posted your homework. If at least share a practice and attempt to do a Kundalini practice on your own. And as you know, you can search, I'm feeling a little unbalanced today, Kundalini for balancing. I'm feeling a little sad today, or I'm feeling led from ego, Kundalini to eradicate the ego. There are tons of different Kriyas out there. Okay, so we're going to continue this beautiful workshop series, and hopefully we'll be together at some point. But guess what? You need to get on Zoom. So you're absolutely going to miss this class if you're not on Zoom. And the reason I want you on Zoom is I want to see all your beautiful faces, and I want audience participation. I do these videos, I'm just talking to a little green dot on my screen, but when I get to class, we're supposed to be experiencing this, right? So it's hard to do that on Facebook Live event when you're just staring at a little green dot on your screen. So this time we'll be getting on Zoom. So I challenge you, do not wait till that night to download Zoom and get on for the very first time during this chat. I'm going to attempt to email it to you. I still need some emails. I'm going to attempt to put it on our Facebook group. I don't know if you can just go from Facebook to that link. I'm new to this too, and we're going to be participating together. And I say that because I'm going to give you some homework in this video, and you're going to come to that Zoom class ready to answer these questions. Does that sound good? Okay. So this month, we're going to focus on three things. We're going to focus on intentions, affirmations, and mantras. Oh my. What does all that mean? Stay listening. I'm going to get back on with my notes, and we're going to break down each one of them. I'm going to take you through what our agenda is for our Zoom class. I'm going to break out some assignments before that you have to do prior to coming, so you're ready to experience these three focused prong approach for this month. Okay, so stay listening. Get ready. We're diving in. Yes, that means you. Stay watching. Okay, so thanks for staying clicked in. We're going to dive in, and I will tell you that the topic that we're focusing on this month, everyone in this group knows about. Everybody believes in the law of attraction. Everybody understands, setting intentions and having goals. And if you're a spiritual person, which if you're part of this group, you are, you're certainly well on your way, right? You know, how important these three things that we're going to talk about or focus on this month are to your daily practice. And I cannot stress enough, daily practice. Somebody once asked me, I remember getting on a call with somebody, and I'm like, so where are you with the whole law of attraction thing? And the person said, Jeannie, that was 10 years ago. It's the last time I looked at it was when you were working with me at the bank. And that person's life had kind of taken a turn for the worse, right? You cannot have all the beautiful things in your life, you cannot, without having these intentions and affirmations and mantras and as part of your daily practice. And if you disagree with me, you better tag me offline. I will absolutely go toe-to-toe with you. Okay, so let's break these down today. And again, this should just be affirming what you already know. And I want to kind of say what they are, because when we break out how we're going to do these this month, I want them in this format. Okay, so let's start with the clear lowest vibration of all three that we're going to be talking about, and that is intentions. All right, so basically, if you don't know what an intention is, it is an idea or a plan that you plan on taking action to, right? So you can see why it's the lowest vibration that we're talking about right now. I intend to have a good day today. I have to get up. I want to be on time, right? Those are just intentions that we have. If we want to amplify them, we can really write out a clear stated intention. And that's what I'm going to have you do in this video. So stay listening. We're just going to break them out. I say that intentions are the lowest vibration, and I don't mean that, you know, they don't have a high value. They're just the lowest of the three that we're going to talk about. Okay, so first one is just to have an intention. And what is an intention? It's you're intending it. It's a plan or idea that you plan on putting into action. Okay, so the next one, vibration up, would be affirmations, right? And why I say they're amped up is you're really affirming that your intentions are already stated and true and happening. So if you're writing an intention, you're typically kind of wanting and feeling like you're lacking something. If you write an affirmation, it's always in the position of already having it. I love that. So when we get ready to do your homework and I talk about writing an affirmation, which you're going to see in a minute, I am is two of the most powerful words in the dictionary. Okay, I am. So if you don't know the story, and I'll say it in case you don't remember it. It comes from, do you remember Moses is talking to the burning bush, right? And he's talking to God, and he asks, who are you? Who is this person talking? And God replies back, I am that I am, meaning I am you. And so I am is basically the same absolute frequency as God. So when we say I am, and be careful with what you're saying. You can say, I am frustrated, I am upset, I am mad. That's not what we're talking about here, right? But I am satisfied, I am kind, I am abundant. I mean, those are the words that we're talking about. So when you're saying I am, you're putting yourself in that frequency and you're making an affirmation. You're affirming it to be true. So I'm just breaking these down really quick for you. So I know all of you know what these mean, but for the sake of our homework, I'm breaking them out on this video. Okay. And then the last one is a mantra, which is basically an intention and an affirmation put into a statement and repeated time and time and time again. So as I stated in my last video, we were going to have Sarasota Joe come on and do a beautiful chant and help us for Kurtan Chanting, which we're going to explain in this video. And he just messaged me and said it was too much to do with new people. It's too sacred, too hard. He felt like he really wanted to be connected. And Zoom probably wasn't. He's been doing these on Facebook Live, by the way, but for a first participation, he thought that we should just wait and go to him. And I have to say I agree. So we're going to do a little of that on our Zoom meeting, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. So intentions, you got affirmations, you got mantras, we're breaking those all down. Okay, so stay listening. I'm going to go a little bit further into detail for Kurtan Chanting and explain what that process is. Take a little break here to grab my notes, get back on and explain just that one aspect, which is really everything we just talked about, into a practice called Kurtan Chanting. And if you've never been, you're about to experience it. So stay listening. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into the spiritual practice of Kurtan Chanting. So I will be asking a show of hands how many people have participated ever in Kurtan Chanting. And if you haven't, I kind of need to know that because I would like to put up something on our website and it will be there. I'll post it. Actually, I'll share it right up here. I'll give a demonstration of somebody participating in one, or you can hear one. So what are they? Kurtan Chanting is the ancient sacred practice of call and response to Sanskrit, Indian Pali language words that's repeated over and over and over again. So someone sings it, and then they put their hand up, and then the audience responds to it. And the words, it's interesting, like we have our English language that each word means something. In the Pali language or in Sanskrit, right? It's not all about the words. In fact, the words, a lot of the mantras, a lot of the call and responses are done in syllables and sounds, but they all have a sacred vibration to it. That's my understanding of it, and it's amazing. So Diva Pramel, they just canceled their concert. It was supposed to go actually I think it's this Friday. That got put on hold. Satnam Kaur, if you listen to her, a lot of call and response. So I'll put up some of those websites so you can check them out so you know what to expect. So let's dive in. I'm going to put up a beautiful slide that just gives the textbook definition, there you go, of Kurtan chanting. So let me read that to you now. Kurtan means to praise that which is exalted. And the word exalted basically just means raised or elevated. The divine word kirtan also stems from the Sanskrit root that means to cut through. So simply put, the kirtan practice is the practice of cutting through the idea of separation for connecting our hearts and connecting to the moment that we're in through sound. So I'm going to put up world-renowned Deva Pramal puts it this way. She says, "We sing our praises to the divine in the many forms in which it manifests. Each chant revolves around the particular mantra as a sacred sound or formula that has a specific focus on energy. These mantras often feature the names of myriad gods, goddesses that were identified by the ancient or the seers in the Vedic times and later became the central to the religious in such as Hinduism and the Buddhism and the yoga and the yoginis." Okay, so I love that. The next thing I want to share is some kind of do's and don'ts with going to a kirtan practice, okay? So the first thing you want to do when you're even thinking about kirtan chanting is to absolutely come with an open heart. And I will tell you, the first time I experienced this, Sonia Chiquette took us through a joy kirtan chanting exercise at her class, and I just cried the whole entire time. That's what happens. So you have to absolutely come with the openness of a heart is the most important thing. So I love that. So the second thing you're going to want to do when you're doing kirtan chanting is to come with an open voice throat chakra. So as we know from past classes, right, the throat chakra is all about hearing as much as it is about communicating. So what a beautiful practice chanting can be, right? It calls and responses on both. You see where I'm going with this? Okay. So you also should be grounded. So if you're not feeling grounded, you should be grounded before you go to a practice. Otherwise, you can be right up in the ethers, okay? You should also be open to new words and new phrases. And you guessed it, you would probably need to be extremely patient with yourself as you try to learn these new words. And what's nice about kirtan chanting is they might do the same song for 5 minutes. So the first time you hear the layout of the words, you might go, what are they saying? But guess what? By 5 minutes of hearing the same 6 syllables repeated 1,000 times, you guessed it. You're ready to move on. Okay, so let's go to the do nots when it comes to kirtan chanting. You do not want to be sitting with your ego. That would not be a good thing. You don't also want to feel pressured to sing. So if you are feeling pressure, my gosh, just listen to the song and sit there and say it to yourself. But again, we're asking you to use your voice in this class. It's also talking about not being uncomfortable. And it's interesting, it's not uncomfortable with the idea of chanting. It means literally don't be uncomfortable as far as how you're sitting. your clothes are all wrapped around you, you're hot. I mean, all how you sit and how you're feeling in the moment when you're doing these chanting is just as important. And then just aesthetics, it's very important that you're not blocking other people when they're chanting and you're standing up in front of them. You know, if you have kids that are running around, probably not a great idea. You'd want to, it's a sacred time and it's a sacred space, okay? So that is a breakout. I'm going to share some Kurtan Chanting websites so that you can get a taste of it prior to doing our Zoom class so you know what it is. And let's dive into what I want you to do for class, for our Zoom class. So this is like showing up prepared for the teacher. Okay, you heard it in the beginning. Don't wait till that night. I'm assuming you've all been on Zoom and you're ready to go. There are 3 things I'm going to need you to come class ready to. You're going to have your time, little green bar is going to be around you, and you're going to say these to the rest of the class. Are you ready? Here they are. I want you to absolutely figure out where you are right now in your life with this whole coronavirus thing, staying at home, isolation, working, not working. Wherever you are, I want you to absolutely sit down and write a very mindful intention for yourself for the next 30 days that you're going to be doing. You're going to be held accountable for. Okay. So write up the affirmation and absolutely be willing to share it with your classmate. That's the first thing. 2 more, stay with me. Second thing I want you to do is, like we said in the beginning of this video, take it up a notch, and I want you to write it as an affirmation. So if you know and you were paying attention, you're not writing it as intending in actions and wanting something. You're writing that your intention has already happened. So you're going to write the same intention and be ready to share that. Okay. And then the last thing is the mantra part of it. Okay, so I talked about I am being the most powerful 2 words that you can have, right? I am. I want you to take a look at your intention and your affirmation, and I want you to write 10 I am statements using that. So if you were looking at being balanced, looking for abundance, you would say, I am abundantly wealthy. I am financially secure. Find 10 things to say in I am statements and be ready to share those. 3 things you got to do. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. We're going to get on Zoom. Christine is going to do a beautiful meditation to get us all grounded. We're going to be talking about this. You're going to each go through, there's 30 of you on, you guessed it. I don't know how long the class will be. It depends on how many people show up and get their Zoom on. You're going to be answering those 3 questions that I just asked you, which is the intentions. You're going to write it, affirmations, and I am statements. We're going to go around the room and let everybody share that, kind of where they are in their situation right now. And then Sarah is going to get on and she is going to sing a beautiful song that is going to be sung, and we're just going to listen to Sarah because she's beautiful. She's going to have the music on in the background. She hasn't confirmed that she's going to do this, so if she doesn't, I'll be playing that song that I asked Sarah to sing, I Am the Light, and you'll hear about that in a minute. And then Christine is going to finish after that. We're going to finish with what Christine did last time when she went through all the chakras and opened them up. And we're going to be doing that on Zoom together. And we're going to be ending, and then we're off Zoom, and that's going to be our class. Are you ready? Are you excited? Have you done your homework? I know it's so hard to stay engaged with all this virtual talking and connection, but this is our current reality, and you get what you put in, right? We all know that. Okay, that's it. That's a lot. I'll see you Monday night on Zoom. I'll probably be getting on around 1:15. We can have our 15-minute conversation kind of hanging out in my kitchen like we used to. So join me early if it's your first time on. I'll be on in 1:15. I love you all. Stay home, stay safe. See you soon.